And welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Vesperia. Last time we didn't accomplish a ton. We finished the boss fight and then just kind of explored the rest of the Lumen Crystal Lands. I think that's the name. Did I actually get it right for once? This time we are going to meet Pharaoh.
Pharaoh! He's hurt! Why is he flying?
Any idiot could come along and take him out. He couldn't put up a fight like this.
It's probably so humans won't get his apatheia.
Pharaoh!
Hey, he's landing!
It looks like he's calling us.
Let's go.
Pharaoh? Pharaoh, come on! I'm sorry. It was all for us.
What do you mean?
Pharaoh was a decoy for us at Zaude.
The fate of the world is set. We shall meet our end. Duty unfulfilled. How unfortunate.
You give up pretty fast for someone who fought for so long. Sorry, but things aren't over yet.
Zaude is lost. The Adephagos has returned. Neither humans nor we possess the power of old. What more can be done?
There's still hope. There's a new power. We would like you to become a spirit. A being that can control air even more.
But to do that, we need your apatheia.
You ask me to hand over my life. Your heart alone cannot save the world. But you must have the heart to save it. I am not long for this world. Do with me as you please.
What if he doesn't help us when he becomes a spirit?
Pharaoh loves the world. It'll be fine. Shall we?
But the air crane here is all dried up.
If I follow the flow of the air back, I should be able to pull it from within the world.
Can you really do that?
Undine is telling me that.
Okay.
It worked!
Hey, 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 hey! Hot, hot, hot!
The spirit of fire.
I feel unlimited power.
It has been a long time, hasn't it, my leader? I congratulate you on your conversion.
Such consideration. Peleus? So you too have...
I am now called Undine, the ruler of the waters.
I have changed form, so I too require a new name. You, who have reincarnated me, give me a name.
The fearsome fiery Fireball King!
Such a powerful, terrible fire. The blazing one, Ifrit.
I am now connected strongly to the world, and all seems new again. Even this wasteland is filled with power. Wonderful!
Hey! He flew away!
Fear not. We are bound to you. Wherever you go, we are with you. The Interlakeia and the Child of the Full Moon bear spirits. Nature's providence is great indeed.
Man, they are so different before and after becoming spirits.
They have totally different points of view. It's like, imagine if a fish became a bird.
This is better for them than being some sage, always worrying about the world.
You know, we're up to our eyeballs in problems. Saving the world sure keeps a guy busy.
Well, the problems we're dealing with are a lot bigger than they used to be.
What? Why is everybody looking at me? I got something on my face?
Problems like you, Yuri. A lot.
I hear that. Fate is definitely out to get you.
After everything that's happened, I'm starting to wonder myself. But hey, I've done a pretty good job of getting us out of whatever mess we're in, right? You gotta at least give me some credit there.
See, for Yuri, the end of the world's just one more problem that needs solving.
Maybe that attitude's what's kept us seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Gotta love the power of positive thinking.
So we have 3 of the 4 elemental spirits we need. So that means we have to go to the Death Valley place that apparently no one returns from. So yay! So yeah, Ifrit, however you want to spell it, pronounce it, whatever, it's all the same entity. I don't quite know if it's like backstory in terms of like mythology or whatnot. But interestingly, one thing I actually do know is that Ifrit is, I think, also in Final Fantasy. No, Undine I don't think is. I don't think so. But yeah, Ifrit is in Final Fantasy as a summon in that game, and I think is a summon in other Tales games as well. One interesting piece of trivia is what Rita was saying about a fish turning into a bird. Well, I don't know. Is that a reference to Zelda? Because that kind of is a thing that happened in Zelda. So I'm just double checking where the heck the last one is. That's not the right one. Okay. Crystal Isle northeast of Tobikia and the mountains of the sands of Kogor and on the continent of Wakaya, respectively. Where's Wakaya again? I don't remember one bit, so that's gonna be fun. You know, one thing you can always do if you're not sure of where you are is you can always just flip through in the menu, because you can actually see the name of where you are. Oh, this place. Well, this looks totally habitable, doesn't it? Question is, where the heck is the Interlakeia supposed to be? I certainly don't know. There's also the question of, do we need to push from the water? Or from the sky?
We're lucky Pharaoh decided to help us out.
He's a little extreme, but there's no doubt he cares for this world, just like Judy said.
I've been hard on him in the past, but he has helped us out all this time.
We must defeat the Autophagos and save the world for Pharaoh and his love of the world.
Ah, no cheesy lines.
Yeah, come on!
Honestly, you two should learn to show your feelings.
Okay, it did something weird. I don't know if it was just me, but it looked like it actually started to show one skit and then immediately switched to a different skit. I don't know what that was all about, so hopefully that other skit pops up eventually. I don't know of any way to trigger a skit. Oh, I wonder if this is where we need to be. This is like the only distinct place on the entire continent, if you can even call it a continent.
I have been trained by knights. I won't lose.
Yeah, these are actually new enemies. 48, Skunky. There's something else I was gonna say too. What was it? You know what? Actually, the first time I even heard the name Ifrit pop up was actually Sonic and Secret Rings. Now, that's not a good game, mind you, but it's just kind of ironic because actually today, at the day of recording, this is actually when Sonic Mania comes
I
out.
want some more.
Fun fact. I'm actually just kind of waiting for it to go live, so I'm just let's playing this instead.
So this is Reloise?
Yes, Baul says it is. But I don't see any Aircrene or Intellicaea.
Looks like we can take this path down.
It's a long way down. Yes, it is.
Let's get going.
Yes, it looks like that's all we can do. Hey, why don't we just ride Baul all the way to the bottom? No, it's narrow, and the wind is all over the place. It's a little too dangerous.
I can see a river way down at the bottom!
This is what happens when a river wears away at the earth for years and years.
The power of nature. Who knows how long it took to make this?
Whoa! I get all dizzy when I look straight down.
Idiot.
Well, just make sure you don't slip and fall.
And here we are, Reloise Hollow. Instinct shows that we should probably examine all these, except there's nothing here, so that was a waste. I always think, oh, what if something is hidden here? And then most often it doesn't turn out to be true unless it's a platformer, because I have a weird sixth sense when it comes to platformers.
We should really enjoy these little times together.
I'm trying to think of an example. Obviously, like Mario and Kirby spring to mind, where, you know, I have a certain intuition, because I've just been playing platformers literally since I started gaming. Like, my first game was a platformer, so I'm just used to that. I mean, a lot of people grew up with RPGs, a lot of people grew up with, you know, I was gonna say shooters, but when I say shooters, I really more mean shoot 'em ups, because there wasn't really like a standard shooter back then, but there was like Galaga and what am I saying? There were shooters. Doom was around when I was getting into gaming. I just didn't play it. But you know, if you grow up with a game, you tend to be really good at it. At least from my experiences. Like I see Mario Bros. 3, I'm honestly okay at it.
Man, I want some more.
I mean, you know, I'm not pro, but I always see people say, like, the game is really difficult. And I don't particularly see that.
Yes, I can fight.
Because I've just been playing it since I was, like, so young. So to me, Super Mario Bros. 3 is, like, not that bad. It's just kind of average difficulty. But then, again, I haven't played Castlevania growing up. So Castlevania is a complete trial for me, and as is most 2D games, as are most 2D games from the era. I guess Contra also springs to mind, Battletoads.
You picked the wrong people to fight with.
I'm forgetting one. Ninja Gaiden? Yeah, Ninja Gaiden. I am trash at Ninja Gaiden. What the heck did we just pick up? The Forte staff. Oh, that's Vegeta. No wonder. I just saw staff and thought of Cell for some reason. Forte staff. That's a step down. This is Art's TP consumption with a rod is equipped. That's not bad. Oh, and a quick fall. That's actually really good. I have so many skills to learn with Judith, though I'm pretty far behind, really. But yeah, I'm not good at Castlevania.
So can we just go all out?
Fun fact, I was actually going to do a blind let's play of Castlevania, and I actually decided not to, because I tried it, didn't go so well. It went really badly, that's all I'm going to say about that. recording issues as well. To be blunt, for some reason recording off an NES Classic is buggier if you try to do a multi-program setup like I use. I'm actually thinking about dropping it because I do tend to have some minor desync between commentary and gameplay anyway. The reason I use Audacity in the first place, fun fact, is because I was told using the built-in stuff actually causes desync too, so I've been meaning to test it out with something like on Switch or the NES Classic, to see how that goes. From what I gather, it's actually a lot easier to use this particular capture card on a Windows operating system, of course, because everything is optimized for Windows. But for me, I'm just kind of stuck with this. Oh, that was effective. Cockatoo says when you hear the word, or at least when I hear the word, I think of something a little bit more bird-like than this. It may just be Castlevania. And by the way, when I say Castlevania, I actually meant old Castlevania. I can do okay at the new ones. Not great, but better. I totally cheese Symphony of the Night, full disclosure, so if I do a Let's Play that game, I'm not gonna cheese it. I'm gonna try to play it legit, but also no guarantee. Castlevania has one thing where you have a special shield, where depending on the weapon you have equipped, it can break the game. Not break the game as in, oh, you literally caused the game to not work. But as in, suddenly you are broken as a character and you just destroy everything mercilessly. So I ended up kind of doing that in Castlevania Symphony of the Night because I was getting kind of worn out by the second castle, I think. Spoiler, I guess, for Castlevania, though I think most people who are interested have played Soden because it is an iconic title.
Fight like I'm gonna die, huh?
In my opinion, this is actually a very controversial statement. Castlevania is actually the most well-known Metroidvania. Next to Super Metroid, I would say. By far, which is actually funny. Something I find fascinating is that actually there have been more Metroidvania Castlevanias than actual Metroid games. Because, like, I don't know if I'd classify, like, the 3D Metroids as Metroidvania, per se. I don't know if that's just being biased against, like, that genre, in terms of just thinking it's only a 2D thing rather than just a design philosophy. I don't know. That's actually something I should look up, are 3D games considered Metroidvanias? But anyway, back on topic. If you think about it in terms of, like, Metroidvania, like 2D Metroidvanias, you have the original, 2.
Man, I want some more.
Super Metroid, which is regarded as the best. I disagree, by the way. A Fusion, which is actually the last game chronologically, and why am I drawing a blank on this? Zero Mission, which is actually a reboot of the first game. Why is the game that I actually have played recently the one I forgot? In terms of like 2D like Metroidvanias in the Castlevania series, you have Symphony of the Night, Aria of Sorrow, Harmony of Dissonance, Circle of the Moon, I think is the first GBA one, Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, which is actually the next one I want to play. I don't like Dawn of Sorrow, fun fact. And there's another DS one, Portrait of Ruin, and then there's also Harmony of Despair? But there was like one that was like a compilation and sort of a co-op thing. I want to say it was Harmony of Despair. But yeah, there are a lot of 2D Castlevanias.
I guess I can fight.
You know what? Actually, okay, there was one on PS1.
Cover me, would ya?
I'll protect you.
There were 3 on Game Boy Advance, 3 on DS, and 1 on 1 HD. So that's about 8 games. That's almost the entire Metroid series, because with Metroid you have 5 2D games, and 1 is a remake, so technically 4, I guess you could say. Then you have 3 Prime games, so even if you include the Prime games, that's 7? And then you just have Other M, in terms of you know, classic air quotes Metroid. Because Federation Force is a spin-off, so it's its own thing. So yeah, pretty much Castlevania has actually had more Metroidvania games than Metroid as a series has had. And you know, the Castlevanias that aren't considered
The sign of victory.
Metroidvanias are the Lords of Shadow series, which is generally considered kind of an abomination to the franchise, depending on who you ask. And that's about it, really. And also, I don't know if people consider the N64 games Metroidvanias. I don't think they would be. Also, it just occurred to me, I've been just talking about Castlevania while navigating this area. I haven't even been talking about Tales or RPGs for that matter. Just because I'm just kind of fighting enemies, trying to figure out where to go, and oddly enough, I tend to have the philosophy of just showing everything I can. I don't like cut very much, which I should probably start doing instead of just level grinding. But I don't do podcasts, so this is the closest thing for now. I've been having an idea in my head to try to do like a spoiler cast for this game, or whenever I play some big blind game. Not for Let's Plays even, just in general. I've actually been bouncing this idea around in my head. Probably try to invite people into like a voice call and just debate a game. I don't know, that's something that might be cool.
That wasn't too bad.
This game has a lot of spoilers, honestly, and this game also has a lot of things that really don't sit well with me. Even though I like the game, there's some things that are just like really weird, plot-wise, and it kind of just detracts from the overall experience. It's one of those things, I was talking about this before, right? I think. But basically with Tales, I think this is how I was ending the video last time, now that I think about it. This is actually like a day later. I value characterization over, I value characterization over story, so the fact that there's a lot of weird story moments actually doesn't really matter to me as much as if there were like shaky character moments. Like the only shaky character moment I can think of is Sodia. Like we don't quite understand her motivations at this point. You know, maybe they'll reveal it, maybe they don't. Knowing this game, they might not explain it, which is a problem, sure. But on the whole, I feel like the cast is strong enough to carry the game. You know, I have my favorite characters and everything, but really, this is a pretty solid Tales cast. Like, there's no one I just flat out can't stand, which is actually really good when you have 7 characters. 9, technically, on PS3, which is a lot, really. 9 characters, jeez. So I hear Yuri kind of pops in and out, which is not surprising at all. What did I just pick up? I love how there is this new tab, so you can actually see what you picked up. That's for Repeat. Okay, and yet again, I did not need to buy items. We need the Sorcerer's Ring level 4 for that, I know for sure. I don't even need to second guess myself that, I know it's 4. The reason is because there's that section, I think Quarry Woods, where there's a big Gigantomonster behind it, and we can't actually fight it yet. Until we get Sorcerer's Ring level 4, which is apparently after this particular level. But it's also optional. You don't need Sorcerer's Ring level 4 for, say, the final dungeon or anything. By the way, we were actually really close to the end of the game, believe it or not. As we're nearing part 100. For reference, I know someone else who did a Let's Play this game and it got up to 173 videos, if I'm not no, 172. Because one of the videos was just the opening. So this game is very long if you want to show everything. And also I think YouTube might have had a tighter video limit back then. It might have been more closer to like 20 minutes. I don't quite know. Yeah, actually probably not. Also, this person I think probably would have cut out a lot more battles than I have. I don't just cut out battles because I'm typically like rambling about something. And you know, some people with RPGs will, for Let's Plays, cut out battles and just continue the plot after the battle, except I'm too ADD to actually remember what I was even talking about, so that's why I tend to not cut out battles. There's actually something that throws me off about cutscenes periodically, is that they interrupt my train of thought, and at the end of the cutscene, I don't remember what point I was going to make about the actual cutscene I was just watching, or before the cutscene even.
I guess I can fight.
An example is like Rita's comment about
How's this? Luna
fish involving the birds. It's like, oh, that's a Zelda thing. But I had to actually consciously think of that in order to retain it. So like, it's hard to make note of that because I just forget. Okay, so this guy's almost down. Yeah, I haven't been commenting on the enemies, but I think they're all reskins. Except that guy. Except this guy, the Tyradillo. I think all these are reskins. Like, this is definitely a reskin of an enemy near. What's the forest place? The place with, like, the air grenade. I don't remember the name of it, but that place. Cave Mock? Yeah, Cave Mock. Rock guys are also new, but they're also like not that big of a threat. If you can do 1,000 damage to them, okay, that's gonna help. When you can do 1,000 of these and you have 30,000 HP, it goes pretty fast.
Hey, come on!
It's not even worth really addressing most of the time. By the way, there's one thing I crafted and I don't even remember what it was. I think it was an accessory, but I think it took like all the elemental stones, but I didn't really make note of that because I forgot. So yeah, just making note of that now. I am aware that apparently the boss of this place is like level 58, so we're at a pretty good spot in terms of levels. Typically like one level below is fine. Normally in RPGs you can become over leveled easily, but in this one you really don't need to worry about that. Cast a healing spell but still tries to use an Albatross, okay. Okay, that was good. But yeah, I've actually been thinking about playing Symphony of the Night, but the problem with Symphony of the Night is that's on PS3, and I don't know if I can record off of PS3. I've never tried it, because it uses like a special like component cable that bypasses the PS3's HDMI. So, I don't quite know entirely if I can do that or not, but I would love to play Symphony of the Night. It's a good game, and I would love to revisit it at some point down the road. Just not sure if I can do it for a Let's Play. And there's also the possibility of just hooking up a Vita TV, which is not entirely ideal. I feel like this place has a lot of branching paths, and that always makes me nervous. As someone who... oh.
Hey, hang on. This kind of stuff gets to us old folks.
Come on, old man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to climb back up when we're done. He's dead.
Someone's coming. Person? Here?
You.
Duke. Appearing out of nowhere as usual.
What are you doing here?
We heard there was an Antilocheia here. We came to ask it to become a spirit.
A spirit?
A being that comes from reincarnating an Antilocheia through an apatheia.
We might be able to solve the air problem completely with the spirit's power. By converting air into mana.
I see. That's why.
Duke?
Reincarnation. Converting air. You are trying to remake the world itself. All to solve a problem that humans themselves brought about. Such arrogance.
But if we don't fix the air problem, the Autophagos will destroy the world.
Belius understood. She became Undine and is lending us her power.
Pharaoh as well. He was reborn as a Efreet.
The proper form of Terca Lumires is one in which all living things, including Entelekea, live in their natural state. You understand that as well.
But what about Gusios? He was trying to control the air. But then he took too much and became really dangerous.
Yeah. I don't want to think what would have happened if we hadn't reincarnated him as Gnome.
Even so, I do not accept it. I will protect this world.
You said that before. So just how do you plan to protect the world?
I will not interfere with you, so do not interfere with me. Ahead lies one of the oldest springs in the world. Pay it due respect.
So you won't answer the main question?
Farewell. I doubt we shall meet again.
Hey! He's gone!
Such a warm and fun-loving little fellow.
I wonder what he's trying to do.
I don't know, but I have a bad feeling about it.
Rita, is something wrong?
Well, I bet with his sword, with Dane Nomos, we could focus the spirit's energy on the Autophagos. Should we chase him down and ask him to lend it to us?
Yeah, I don't think he's in much of a giving mood right now.
Me neither.
Well, whatever we do, we have to get all the spirits first. Let's focus on that for now.
And we even have a save point for our troubles. I totally triggered that cutscene by accident, and I didn't feel like just cutting it off at our usual half-an-hour mark, so this is gonna go slightly over time, but in any case, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Tales of Vesperia.